Hey, I'm Ella and this is The Kettle's On, my cozy little corner of the internet where I drag a friend in for a cuppa, we unpack our tea of the week, and then we get way too invested in Reddit stories. New episodes every Friday, so stick the kettle on and come join us. Hello, and welcome to The Kettle's On, the first official episode. I'm so excited.
It's piping.
And today we are joined by my best friend, Georgina, or one of my best girlfriends. Sorry.
Hello.
So Georgina is one of my best friends. We've known each other since like early secondary school days.
Mm-hmm.
We're now 29 years old.
Probably.
Yeah, so a good long time.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Too long.
18 years.
That's a long time.
It is a long
time.
Saying that out loud makes me feel too old.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I'd feel very comfortable doing it with any of my best friends. So yeah, I'm happy you're here with me.
Thank you. I'm happy to
and
be
on
here.
This journey. It's very exciting. Before we get into our stories today, we're going to chat about some tea of the week. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
I'll let you go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am so excited. My little tea of the week that I want to chat about is the Hannah Montana 20th,
Oh, yeah.
20th anniversary?
20th anniversary, yeah.
Oh my God. As soon as I literally opened Instagram and that little clip came up. Have you seen it?
I have, but I didn't know what it was at first. So I was just scrolling Instagram, scrolled past it, not thinking anything of it. I was like, I don't care about cars.
What is this?
Yeah. I don't care about cars. Just scroll past that. And then everybody was talking about it. And then I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
I was literally in the kitchen making a cup of tea. I remember it.
Yeah.
I was making a cup of tea and I think I just opened Instagram and I was like, what is this? Because the same thing. I was like, why am I looking at this picture of some garage with a car or something, some building with a car in it? And I literally heard the music and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm so here for this.
Yeah.
I was such a Hannah Montana girly. I remember Georgia introduced me to Hannah Montana.
Okay.
Georgia, if you're listening, thank you. Because that's a big part of my life. Big Miley Cyrus fan.
You saw her live, didn't you?
I did, in God knows when. I don't know. I'm so bad with dates. But when she did, I think her first...
Can't Be Tamed.
Must have been her first Miley tour. Because I know she did obviously Hannah Montana. So she didn't do any Hannah Montana songs. It was her full on Miley stuff. That was my first concert ever, I think. Or was it when we went... Did you come with me to the X Factor thing? X Factor tour.
I did go to the X Factor tour, but I went with somebody else from school.
Oh, I don't know who I went with. Anyway, that I'm so excited for. I don't actually... I don't think they've said anything about it.
No.
About what it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if it's going to be like a sit-down documentary style thing.
Exactly.
Or I can't see it being an episode.
No, I can't as well. But I can imagine a lot of the actors would probably be very up for it.
Yeah.
But obviously, she's got that whole thing with her dad, doesn't she?
I was just about to say that.
I completely forgot about that. Wow,
I was literally just about to say that. Billy Ray Cyrus, what's going on?
So yeah, it definitely won't be an episode thing. Oh, could you imagine if they did an episode thing and then they killed him off? That would be so funny.
I'm trying to think because I know that he's obviously got I don't know what's gone on, but I know he married somebody a lot younger than him.
Yes.
But they're not together anymore.
No.
And she's come out and she said some stuff.
I think she was saying he was a really big narcissistic arsehole, basically.
I do kind of get that vibe from him. I didn't back in the day, but then I was a child watching a TV show that's made for kids. So he's still playing a character in that.
Yes.
I know obviously he's Miley's dad in real life, but he's still playing a character.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I'm trying to think because I can't remember if it's Miley or Noah Cyrus that's still got a relationship.
I don't know. I don't know that far into the tea.
I just see stuff on TikTok all the time. And
yeah, I guess my algorithm isn't there yet. I definitely saw, because I think the girl that he was married to must have put an Instagram post or something out.
Yeah.
So I definitely saw that, but haven't seen the rest of what's going on. But yeah, I'm very excited for that. Whatever capacity it will be, I will be watching.
Yeah, 100%.
Front and center.
Yeah, because I never had Disney Channel growing up.
I was thinking this before you came over because I knew I was going to chat about this, and I was thinking, I don't think you were a Disney kid.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was a deprived child.
I
know. But we had a family that lived over the back from us, and we were really good friends with them. Oh. So I used to literally
Who was that?
It was my friend Kaylee.
Abigail.
I
thought it was your other friend.
No, so I literally used to jump over the wall at the back of my garden.
Lovely. For some Disney Channel access.
Yeah, literally. Literally.
Yeah, fair.
After school, ring them up. Are you home yet? Yeah. Can I come and watch Hannah Montana?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
I saw a post on Instagram today, and it was like you just had to be there, and it just had screenshots of all the things back in the day, like Hannah Montana and Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the good stuff.
Yeah, that I was deprived of.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but at least you had access. Some people didn't have
that's
anything,
true. That's true. And then I did, because I obviously didn't watch every episode, because there would be times when my friends weren't.
Yeah, you couldn't just hop over the back fence and watch everything.
My friends weren't home for me to borrow their Disney Channel.
Yeah.
But I think as a teenager, I caught up and watched them on I think they were on YouTube. Yeah. So I was then able to watch them. I remember crying at the very last episode.
Oh God, sorry.
But I still listen to the music now. I can't remember what song. I was driving to an appointment earlier today and a song came on.
Oh, nice.
Rockstar, I think it was. Oh, yeah. And I have such vivid memories. I had a DVD back in day. Had a DVD back in the day that had, you always used to get the extras on DVDs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there was a snippet of Rockstar. Yeah. And I played that over and over. It wasn't even the whole song.
I can see you doing that.
Yeah. I played it over and over again. I think there was a Phineas and Ferb one as well. And I also played that over and over again. I think this was 2008.
Yeah.
Oh no. No, that wouldn't match up. It must have been a bit later. But yeah, and I became obsessed with Rockstar. And then I remember coming back from my holiday and just YouTube in the background,
nice
over and over again.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who didn't want to be Hannah Montana back in the day?
I know.
What a life. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's my thing. I'm very excited for that.
I am very excited as well.
So yeah. I'm not very good at segueing. What's your tea?
Mine is the documentary that has just dropped on Netflix for America's Next Top Model.
Yes. Oh my God. We were just saying, we had a tiny little chat, but we're saving most of it for this. But I binged it on Monday. I don't know when it came out. Maybe it was Monday. I don't know.
It was this week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about it, but wow.
I know. I thought I was gonna have to watch it on my own, but my husband was actually
did he?
Yeah. Let's watch it. But he grew up in an all women household. He grew up in a household just with his mum and sister. So I think they watched it, and then he was roped into watching it as well. Yeah, that's what he told me anyway.
Arthur had a brother, so they were probably off doing whatever they did.
But I'm really surprised that Tyra agreed to be in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think over the years, I just think Tyra is a bit crazy. I think she's just unhinged. She's an unhinged person. Yeah. And I think obviously some people in that world are, but I don't know if she thought, oh, this will be really good. I'll go on there and I'll say my piece. Yeah. And nothing can come back on me. But I feel like she's done the exact opposite of what she intended.
I feel like some of the stuff, I just find it crazy, some of the stuff that she remembered that just seems so small and menial. And then I feel like we need to take a moment to talk about Shandy.
I was thinking, who's Sherry? I'm pretty sure it's Shandy, the one that cheated. Yeah. But was that whole situation. I feel so sorry for her. I feel
jaw was on the floor when I saw that. The fact that Tyra was basically saying that she doesn't remember any of that. Yeah. Blew my mind. The fact that and I know TV was different back then. There was obviously different regulations and things. Even if you compare it to a reality show like Love Island, from the start of that to where it is now, like, things are so different.
Yeah, 100%.
So I understand that times change, but the fact that they recorded somebody being assaulted in the way that they were and nobody stepped in, and their argument for that is, oh, well, we told you that we were going to record you 24/7.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Like, the fact that someone is so drunk, like, if you were out with one of your friends and they were super drunk and like doing something, like, I don't know, something just seemed off, or they were trying to make like decisions, they just can't make decisions. Like, after 2 bottles of wine, like, you just can't make decisions for yourself, and someone should have stopped it.
100%.
Sure. Like, that's just morally what you should do. And yeah, the fact that, like, I can't imagine being behind that camera and filming that, like, like, you know, I do understand that obviously the cameramen also were doing their job, and she was saying that when she called her boyfriend after all of this happened, that the cameramen were like, really sorry we had to film that, which obviously is, at least that takes a little bit of responsibility, that, you know, it's the wrong thing to do, but also, I don't know, I guess it's hard, isn't it, because you don't want to refuse to do it and lose your job, but also, yeah, what a shitty
I know. I feel like the intentions of the show were there based on what she was saying. I didn't really watch it. Again, I saw clips of it sort of growing up, but I wasn't an avid watcher.
I think I watched a season or two, because one of friends in secondary school, she was obsessed with it.
A lot of memes came from it as well, so I feel like I saw a lot of stuff on Tumblr.
I didn't realise that Miss J, I didn't realise it was that meme, and I was like, oh my god, I like put the two together, because I don't think I remember it that well. Like, it's kind of a period in my life where I think I watched a season, then I was like, well that's like, I didn't really stick with me, but yeah, it's very memeable. But yeah, very wild time. And I can't believe that then, like, the whole thing with, is it the other one is Jay Alexander? Is that the other guy? The is he like the fashion, or I don't know, what was he doing? Kind of like hosting, being involved with it. I think he was a makeup artist before he went on the show. The whole thing with that, the breakdown of that relationship, and how he got roped into like however many more seasons.
I think it was like 9 more cycles, wasn't it?
And the fact that she just completely didn't talk to him. And then when they talked to her about it in the documentary, she's like, they were like, do you want to talk about that? And she just went, no.
And I saw a clip today. She was like, I feel like I know. She's like, I feel like I need to just call him. And then I saw a clip today from him. And this is obviously like, he says that this is since the documentary aired. He was like, my number hasn't changed from back in the day. I haven't had a call. I haven't had any update. And he also said that Miss J, because in the documentary at the end, obviously he suffered a stroke a few years ago, which is, I was heartbroken watching that. And at the end of the documentary, he said that he can't walk. But since the documentary was filmed, he has taken steps. He's got out of his chair and he's taken steps. So I was like,
that's so good. Oh, bless him.
Yeah. So that was really nice. But I find it crazy that people can have that much of a relationship and then just,
I know, like,
literally,
like, obviously in the beginning it seemed like they were all so close and like living their dream and like doing this amazing thing in the beginning, and like, I just can't believe, like, that would be like, imagine, like, I don't know, us doing something together and then I'm being like, yeah, I'm just not going to do that anymore for my own career, for my own things that I want in life, and you just went like, dead silent. That's mental.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah. I'm disappointed. Sorry that I want to do something else with my life.
I know. And then to carry on with those 9 cycles and then be like, actually, we need to change things up and we're not going to bring you back.
Yeah, I think she just went a bit crazy after all of that. Like, all the spin-offs. Well, not spin-offs, but all the like variations they tried to do. Like,
I felt, I didn't watch those cycles, but just from the clips that I saw on the show, it seemed like she was trying to fill the boots of the other judges that she let go. And I think I think she had a lot more of a say in things than she let on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Appreciate she was then removed from the show and was replaced by somebody else, but I think initially she had a lot more say in it. And there's things like with the whole cheating storyline, to then meet up the day after that happens and be like, oh, I was cheated on, which is obviously awful. You know, nobody wants to be cheated on, but she obviously knew what was
she knew what had actually happened. And also to then get them back on her show, she had the talk show years later, and Shandy had literally said, I don't want to talk about this on air, and then she literally showed the clip on air without any
and then is shocked when she is sat there not watching. She's like, oh, I noticed that you didn't watch it.
It's like, I told you. I wasn't going to watch it. I told you didn't want to talk about it. Like, absolutely. And I just don't think I don't think Tyra will ever change. I think she's just who she is, and she's a little bit unhinged and a little bit crazy. I was surprised though that she
and I've also seen, because there were a lot of people asking why Janice Dickinson wasn't on it, but apparently she's filmed another documentary.
Oh, what, coming out or
previously? Coming out soon.
Ooh,
March I think it comes out.
Okay, so we'll get the tea then. Fun.
So that was
2 big things this week. Hannah Montana and America's Next Top Model. Lots of tea. I do like the documentaries. I love a good documentary.
Oh, same. That's normally what I have on when I'm like doing other things around the house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something that I either rewatch stuff, or because I'm not good at just sitting down and watching something new, but if I'm doing something around the house, then if I have something on that I have watched before, or for some reason documentaries I don't need to have watched before, and I just my ears just listening out to it.
Yeah, fair enough. I like it. Okay, well, should we get into these stories?
Yes.
Okay. I picked out a few for you. I don't know if we're going to do 2 or 3, so we'll see how they go. We'll see what we end up chatting about.
I'm excited. I don't know what to expect.
So I was just scrolling Reddit. I've kind of just picked out random stories and the ones that seemed interesting. But we can see what your take is. So the first one, the title is, I think my boyfriend is low-key training me like I'm some kind of project.
Ooh.
So it's a bit long, so I'll let you know once I'm done reading. Okay. Last night in our tiny rental, he took my phone out of my hand and said I spend too much time texting my friends. Not yelling, not angry, just calm. Smiling like a damn therapist. We have been together a year. At first, he was intense in a hot way, always staring at me like I was the only girl in the room. He would say stuff like, you are different, you just need someone to guide you, so you do not waste your potential. I thought it was sweet, like no one ever talked to me like that. Now I'm noticing weird patterns. He compliments me only after I do something he approves of. I cook instead of ordering food, he posts me on his story and calls me wifey material. I go out with my co-workers, he gets quiet and distant for 2 days. When I ask what's wrong, he says, nothing babe, just thinking about our future and whether we are aligned. Aligned, he loves that word. Started picking my outfits, subtle at first. He would say that dress is kind of loud on you, you look more classy in neutrals. I stopped wearing bright colours without even realising it. He says my best friend is chaotic and bad for my growth. He never tells me to cut her off, just says you deserve higher level energy. Now I see her maybe once a month. The scariest part is he never explodes. He never insults me directly. He just withholds warmth. If I disagree with him, he goes cold. No touch, no jokes, no romantics. Then when I apologise for being dramatic, he pulls me in and says, see, this is why we work. You trust me to lead. I feel like I'm being shaped, and the fucked up part is I kind of like the structure. I grew up with messy parents. He feels solid, controlled, safe, but I also feel smaller, quieter, like I'm disappearing a little bit. Is this just a dominant personality? Am I overthinking it? Or am I slowly handing my whole damn identity to this man? What do I do?
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, red flag indicator is going off.
Literally, like...
Ping, ping, ping.
Yeah, I mean, even from the title, training me like I'm some kind of damn project.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like she knows deep down.
Yeah, and I think this is probably why she put it on here. This is also from 4 days ago, so it's really recent.
Oh, wow.
But it has a lot of comments on here. Literally everyone is saying, like, the top comment is like, you leave.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Straight up, just leave.
100%.
Yeah. I just think, yeah. I mean, even when she says, I mean, bless her, I feel bad because, to be fair, I don't know if this is a man or a woman, so I'm just assuming gender here, but we'll go neutral. I don't know if because they said they grew up with messy parents and they like the structure of it, which I can completely understand. But I think in this way, like, it's nice to have someone to keep you structured. Like, sometimes I need it. I'm a bit chaotic and I needed someone to be like, okay, let's do this, blah, blah, whatever. But I think in this instance, it's not structure, it's control.
Yeah.
Like, full on control.
I feel like once you get further into a relationship anyway, things kind of naturally form into structure. Appreciate at the beginning when you're dating, probably not so much because you're probably not living together. So it's a bit harder to form like a structure in your relationship. But I think by the time you get to the point where you're living together, I feel like you naturally fall into a bit of a routine. Just on things like, obviously when you both get home from work and you have dinner, and I feel like you in couples kind of have that normal,
like a normal back and forth type thing.
But so I feel like that can come from any relationship. I don't think you need to be molded into something
I
that
think
you're not.
That's the difference. It's like being with someone can make you better in certain ways, but I think any sign that they're trying to mold you or control you, it's just like it's too much. It's too much over the red flag side.
Yeah.
Like if Arthur ever told me what to wear, I'd be like,
and I do think there's ways that it can be like if Jack went out and bought something for me and was like, I think you would look nice in this. I think, but I also think,
but to
them as a person plays into it as well, because if Jack just did that, I'm not going to see that as a red flag. Like, he's my husband. He's thought of me when he's out. But if I was just maybe
like, if I just got dressed for the day and then he's like, oh, you look better in neutrals. And I was in like a really bright jumper. I'd be like, fuck you, I like this.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, and again, because I have done it with Arthur and been like, oh, like, maybe that doesn't quite go, like, and then like switched out clothes. But I will never I'm like, look, if you're happy and you want to wear
100%.
That,
I literally had this with Jack the other day. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'd put black and navy together. But I feel like that's just more of an opinion rather than like,
like we don't control.
No,
we just give opinions when asked.
Maybe. I will point out that he did ask me for my opinion on that.
And sometimes Arthur does the same. He'll be like, what do you think of this? I'm not really sure. And I'm like, oh yeah, maybe not that. Or like, what about this shirt?
And I do the same with Jack as well. I'm like, oh, do you think this goes together? And sometimes he's like, maybe I'm not seeing the vision that you're seeing. And sometimes he's like, yeah, I really like that. So
and also this sentence, aligned, he loves that word. Could you imagine if like you were thinking like he was like being really quiet and not really like 100%, you know, when you just know that something's like up, and then when she asks what's wrong, he says nothing, babe, just thinking about our future and whether we're aligned. Like, what absolute arsehole.
That's I feel like he's blackmailing her, but it's like
emotional blackmail.
100%.
Like, I think for sure this, well, I'm assuming this is a woman and a man, but I could be wrong. But I'm assuming that the boyfriend has just preyed on the vulnerability of this person and has probably seen that they were maybe in a vulnerable position and thought, I can mold that person, I can control that person, and then has taken it slow. And then obviously now they've started to realise the signs of like, hang on a minute, this maybe isn't quite right. That's...
But I feel like, as I say, they know that it's not right, because I don't feel like anybody that's trusting in their relationship is posting on Reddit about weather, that's normal.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I think they already know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the OP original poster did comment. It's the only one I've seen that they've commented, but they did have a comment back on the post saying maybe I should just pack my bags and go because this isn't even a relationship anymore. It's a social experiment. I don't know, but I still think I'm just overreacting. So I feel like they know it's wrong, but then they keep being like, oh, I don't know.
I think
they know.
They're probably comfortable, and I think it can be very difficult to move away from situations, even if you know that they're probably not great for you. Change is still difficult. So I don't blame her hesitation, but I do think in the back of her mind she already knows, or they already know.
Yeah, I think they do. I'm just trying to see if there was any updates to see if like they broke up or anything. Let me just have a scroll.
And I hope for their sake that they find
this guy
a lovely relationship.
Yeah, they need to absolutely leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of people basically saying like this is emotional abuse, narcissistic tendencies, like just leave. Other people saying that they were trapped in the same sort of way and they've left their relationships. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any more comments from the OP, but we hope for their sake.
I hope they're okay.
They're okay. So we've got another relationship one next. This is an old one. It's back from 2015, but it has an update at the end. So it's a bit of a longer one. So you're going to have to bear with me.
Okay.
Okay.
I can do that.
But the title is My 23 Female Boyfriend 23 Male of 1 year is bad at everything and it's making me lose respect for him.
Yikes.
So. Yeah. Okay, so am I going crazy in my head here because I don't know if I'm just the world's hugest bitch or what? Basically, my boyfriend, let's call him Steve, is just not good at doing anything. And then they've put, wait, that's not true. He's good at outdoorsy stuff and is apparently pretty good at his job in catering. Aside from that, ? For example, I feel like I can't do anything with him that involves any skill or is even slightly competitive because 1, he's a sore loser, and 2, he never wins. When I stayed with his family over Christmas, they had a Scrabble board, and because it was snowy and boring, of course I tried to pass the time playing Scrabble. I'm not even good at Scrabble. I'm not even a good Scrabble player, and I still crushed him every game. And eventually, after a few, I just couldn't play anymore because I had to spend like 10 minutes after every game making him feel better about himself. After giving up on Scrabble, we switched to playing Sorry. We had to stop that too because I couldn't handle the mental toll of continuously beating him at Sorry. Another time we went to a board game night with some friends and he couldn't understand the rules for most of the board games. Couldn't understand the rules for most of the board games, and afterwards vented to me about how stupid the games were. There was no point having rules so complicated, no one could grasp them. In brackets, he was the only one who couldn't grasp them. Other times we'd play casual stuff like air hockey or foosball, which I didn't think even required any strategy other than spinning the little plastic dudes really fast, and he'd still lose every time and get upset about it. I don't care about winning, I just want to have fun, and it feels like it's impossible to have fun because playing anything with him feels like playing against a goddamn 5-year-old. But wait, this thread isn't entitled My Boyfriend is Terrible at Games, so here's some other stuff. His internet stopped working a while back, so he called me and I told him to use his mobile data to download the troubleshooting manual for his router and see if he could fix it. He didn't manage, so I went to his place later and found he downloaded the manual for the wrong router. It wasn't even the right brand. I ended up fixing his problem. Then he ranted to me about how all these router manufacturers make their manuals so hard to use, like there's some sort of deliberate conspiracy to keep everyone in perpetual confusion unless they're a genius. I'm not a genius, I'm just capable of following simple written instructions. Also, he wants to go back to school to do a master's degree, but he needs to do some prereqs, including a math unit where he's struggling with a lot of material. I'm assuming prereqs are like some kind of pre-test. This is American by the sounds of it. So, yeah. But as far as I can tell, it's all the stuff he learned in high school. Lately, he's been posting Facebook updates about how hard it is to learn logarithms. My school covered logarithms in grade 9, and even though I can't remember how to do them off the top of my head, I don't recall them being that particularly hard at the time. And aside from that, I'm getting tired of being expected to be sympathetic when increasingly I just want to yell, or maybe if you weren't such a dumbass. But if I even hint that maybe he should be able to deal with his own emotions, e.g., honey, I know you couldn't get the pizza dough the shape you wanted, but it's not a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, right? I get accused of being unsympathetic to his feelings. What about my feelings that I don't want to constant rolling coverage of every tiny thing that bothers you? But he's also an incredibly sweet, hardworking person who treats me well. And his boss and co-workers all say he doesn't just work hard, but is actually really competent at his job. And he did pretty well in high school. And he's lived on his own since he was 16 and kept himself alive the whole time. And no one else has ever said or hinted to me, gee, your boyfriend is kind of a dumbass. So what the fuck? Is it me? Am I the crazy one? Am I a bitch?
Wow.
Bit of a vent there, I think, from the original poster. What's your thoughts?
I don't know. That one's stumped me a little bit because I obviously sympathise with her. And I get that would be really frustrating. Yes. Especially if you feel like you're doing everything for your partner as well as yourself.
Yeah, when I originally read this one, I was thinking, is this maybe one of those guys that are kind of just like a mummy's boy where they're like, their mum has done everything for them? But then it did mention about him leaving at home at 16 and living by himself. But is it now that it's like there's a girlfriend in the picture that he's like, I don't know, just into that?
Yeah.
Kind of like,
being looked after.
Like, I want to be, exactly, looked after. I need to be mummied a bit because maybe there are some mummy issues there. We don't know. Maybe that's what he wants, a little bit of a mummy. But yeah, I think from the way that OP writes all of this stuff, I think it's a big issue.
Yeah.
And I think, like you can get past certain issues, but I feel like this is a big one that probably is too far gone. I don't know if there's any recovering from that.
I feel like if you're already at that point where you're putting it on Reddit, I feel like that's always going to bother you.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's you just can't come back from it because otherwise you're just already in that place where you're like, well, anytime he complains about anything, you're just going to be like, you're going to get back up about it.
I feel like she's got the ick.
Yeah.
And I feel like once you get the ick, you can't. You can't go back from that.
Sometimes I get the ick. But it's usually like little things.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was an update 2 months later. So again, this is a very long update. So we'll, again, just bear with. But so she's put, I'll save you some scrolling. We broke up. This is pretty long and rambling and probably not even relevant, but typing out helps me sort it out in my head. So you might as well come along for the ride. Some more background. My ex graduated with a degree in biomedicine last year, but never actually looked for work in his field as far as I know. This didn't strike me as a problem at first, since he's always taken care of himself just fine, and he never seemed that enthusiastic about his degree anyway. I spent several years after high school working odd jobs while I figured out what to do with my life, most of the way through nursing school now, so who am I to judge, right? But gradually I just got more and more of a sinking feeling about things, mostly because he kept talking about how he wanted to get a PhD and become a professor, and I felt professorship was a pretty optimistic goal for even the most brilliant students, but how do you tell your boyfriend you think their dreams are wildly unrealistic? So he decided he was going to go back for his master's. Cool. After I posted the original thread, I realised I'd never really spoken to him about his negativity while we were both calm. So I sat him down one day and told him that while I was going to be there for him in times of real distress, I couldn't take all of this complaining anymore about his co-workers, about my housemates, about his housemates, about losing the games, about the train system, about math, about arts majors.
Oh, wow.
Apparently they all work at Starbucks. The one time I pointed out the irony of this, he went real quiet and later told me I really hurt his feelings and to not strike such low blows in the future. Guess I missed a hell of a red flag. I told him it was exhausting to constantly have to attend to one crisis or the other, and that perhaps he could benefit from seeing a therapist. In addition to everything else, he's also had depression on and off, and I figured it was a good chance to learn better coping skills. Well, that didn't go over well at all. He immediately accused me of not caring about his feelings and that he should be able to say whatever he wanted to me, and psychologists just give you happy pills to make you think like everyone else. When I told him psychologists aren't licensed to prescribe medication, he went silent for a while and said it doesn't matter, they still just want to convince you it's fine to be a loser and everything's okay with you. I asked him if he thought he was a loser, and he said he doesn't think he's a loser, he just thinks it's important to stay aware of your flaws and punish yourself when you mess up, which is why he runs so much. What? At this point, I end the conversation because I don't know what the fuck to say. The other thing that had been bothering me progressively more is that he's currently taking units so he can start his master's next semester, but it struck me as kind of weird that he had to take the math and science prereqs considering he already has a degree in biomedicine. I'm pretty sure he graduated. He has a photo of himself in his gown on Facebook, but every time I tried to ask him, he'd hand wave it away like he was hiding something. Of all the problems in our relationship, this was the only one that made me feel like I might be nuts, because for all I know, there was a perfectly simple explanation, but why the evasiveness? Anyway, reading back everything I wrote feels super weird because there's a lot of crazy shit, and it's like, well, sure that happened, but it wasn't like that, but maybe it was. After my failed attempt at talking, I felt like a giant dumbass for not realising the relationship was doomed from the start. But I was dreading actually breaking up with him until the boat ride. This is where I've stopped reading, so I don't know what happens next.
Cliffhanger.
So let's go. So, in my town, there's a few places you can hire a little sailboat for an hour and sail around on the water in summer. Fun couples activity, right? Before the horrible talk, we'd made plans to do this, and he didn't know I was going to break up with him, and I was still clinging to hope of fixing our relationship. So we went sailing. All went well for about 10 minutes until we had to turn the boat, and of course, turning a sailboat can be tricky if you've never done it before. As we're trying and failing to turn the boat, I can see him getting more and more agitated, and I try and lighten the mood by joking about our struggles, and he replies with something like, "Oh, sure, it's fine to be shitty at things. Who needs standards?" And I should have known not to expect to be good at sailing. I tell him there's no reason he needs to be good at everything. Oh, hang on. I tell him there's no reason he needs to be good at something. We're just doing it for fun and just to try and enjoy the activity. Something that I'm sick of saying, and he's evidently sick of hearing, because it sets him off on one of his rants about how he can't do anything right, and people who don't care how well they do are just dumbasses. Everyone is a dumbass. I just want him to be happy with being a dumbass. The boat is stupid, sailboats are stupid, and our town is unreasonably windy, etc. After that, he's too upset to talk and snaps at me every time I ask him to hold a rope or whatever. All because he had trouble turning a fucking hire boat. So I turned to him, yelled, "You're dumped," jumped into the water and swam back to shore. Oh, she said, "Just kidding. I only did that in my imagination."
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. I broke up with him a couple days later. And then she's put at the end, "There's something wrong with me and I need to seriously analyse my partner choices."
Oh, God.
Wow.
Girl.
That's long. Oh my God, I need a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was right. It was just doomed.
Oh, 100%. After only a year as well. Like, if you're feeling that way after a year, then...
Too much resentment there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way too much resentment. Yeah, that's never going to work out in the long run, is it?
No, I think it had both built up for the both of them, and they were, just both went in it anymore from the sounds of it.
Yeah. I really thought she jumped in the water.
I know. I kind of wanted her to. I was like, wow, yeah, do it.
That would be a dramatic way to end a relationship.
See ya. Yeah. Gosh, that was quite long.
He would have fun trying to get that boat back to shore as well.
Yeah. He'd probably just jump out himself.
Yeah.
Swim back, leave it. Okay, we'll do a third one. This is from the Petty Revenge subreddit.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. There's some good stuff on there. And this one just made me laugh. Okay. This is titled "A Rude Customer, a Smelly Surprise."
Oh, I don't know what to expect from this.
Okay. Back while I was going to community college, I worked the overnight shift at the ER side of a large hospital as a valet. Pretty weird job, but it was perfect for studying or reading manga or some occasional running around to grab cars from the parking structure. Additionally, I was very gassy at this point in my life, due partially to genetics, but mostly fast food. job had its ups and downs, but the biggest variable with any customer service job is how much your customers screw up for you. And inevitably, I had several over the course of my time working there. Since I was working 11 p.m. till 7 a.m, folks' disposition were pretty easy to gauge. If they were an arsehole, it was apparent very early in the interaction. Had a fair amount of folks upset that they had to pay to park at a hospital, which I sympathise with. I was never upset with them. It was just that the folks that were plain mean, calling me a fat ass or whatever, that I was upset with. These dick biscuits deserved some payback.
Stink the car out.
Yeah. Once the customer decided to be an arsehole, it was my cue to give them a stinky surprise. I would jog to their car, fire it up, turn the AC recirculation on, and then let rip some diabolical gas as I was driving up. Real gag-worthy stuff. I would get out and hold the door open for them to get in and seal them inside with their poison cloud.
Wow.
If it was a really slow night, I could watch their expression fade into disgust as they had to wallow in my sweet revenge. Looking back, it definitely wasn't the kindest thing to do. I was probably catching people at a low moment in their lives or on a bad day. I would imagine most days at a hospital weren't good. But a stinky reminder to be kind isn't the worst thing, I guess.
Wow.
I do think that's a pretty wild job, valet parking at a hospital.
Yeah, that is strange.
I guess, is that normal in America? Do you have to pay to park at a hospital? I mean, you pay to park here,
but
you just do it on an app.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe this was back in there.
But valet parking at a hospital as well.
What does that mean? That like someone basically takes your car and parks it for you and then brings it back?
Yeah, well, that's what a valet
is, right?
Yeah.
We don't really have valets here, do we?
No. Well,
probably in fancy places that we can't afford.
I think they do it. Selfridges and Harrods. Yeah.
Yeah, fancy places.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty weird job for a hospital, but I guess fair enough.
I find.
But I guess maybe if you're driving someone in a rush, maybe it would be handy.
Yeah,
to
that
just
would
be
make
like,
sense. You pay for the premium though, don't you? Like you pay more for valet parking.
Yeah. So I guess maybe it's an option. It's not the only option, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not be rude to service workers, customer service
exactly.
job.
And
yeah,
I completely get it that sometimes when you're in a bit of a high stress situation, can be a bit rude or lose your filter a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But also, what are the valet parking doing to you? Are they really going to be that? Unless they're rude to you, like really rude to you first.
Yeah,
you don't need to be rude to them. And no. I don't think a bit of a fart. I mean, let's not hold our gas in. The windows. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Hold our gas in.
No, exactly.
That's not healthy for you either. We all do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely a subtle way to get back at somebody that's been.
Yeah. And it's not like you're really going to get like repeat customers, so you probably won't see them again.
I was going to say this because it's one thing to drop a stinker like that in, let's say, the middle of Tesco around a group of people that you know you're probably never going to see again, but that person knows where you work.
Well, yeah, I wonder if that guy had any complaints. Like, my valet farted in my car.
But then you can't prove it, can you? It could just be that there's like a smelly.
And can you fire
someone
for farting? Because then the guy could just be like, "Look, I'm really sorry." Like,
there's no way to prove it.
You can't. Sometimes you just can't help it.
No, there's no way to prove it. There's no evidence left behind. Yeah. I know there's a smell, but you can't prove where that smell came from.
Exactly. Well, that was a bit more of a fun one to to end on. I think I should do some more where I need to do some themes, themed stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just sort of just what I picked out from Reddit today.
That's made me want to scroll Reddit, see what I can find.
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of wild. Like, I've never really been a Reddit person, but obviously I downloaded it. I mean, mainly for this podcast, but it's also a bit wild just to go on there sometimes and scroll and read stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mine usually get redirected to Reddit when I'm Googling something, but just something normal.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Like, oh, my laptop's having this problem.
Yeah.
Blah, and then someone will like have a thread.
100%.
Yeah,
I feel like there's a Reddit thread for everything.
Yeah, there literally is. Even like there's like a veterinary thread.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like scrolling that the other day, like reading all the stuff. Yeah, there's literally like anything you could ever think of on Reddit.
Yeah.
It's wild. Yeah. Okay. So that's it for today. I've had a lot of fun actually recording this. This has been bloody good, I will say. I hope you've enjoyed listening or watching, wherever you're listening or watching. And we'll be back for more. Yeah. Yeah. Don't forget you can find us on socials at the Kettles on Pod. We'll have more stuff coming because there's currently nothing there, but I will sort that out. But yeah, I would love if you could give any posts up there a like or give us a follow, reach out, and I will have an email address if you want to submit any stories of your own.
Ooh,
we'd love to read out if you want anon, non-anon, whatever you want. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you for having me.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.